stroking my shit. I got lotion all on my dick for $20. Says Flash, when you
Damn.
stroking your shit to the new Captain America movie.
Damn.
Oh,
No.
I barely watched that thing.
Bro, that's a heck of a name.
Man, it was hard to get through. I had to watch it in 3 installments.
I watched it all before the stream started, and boy, do I regret it.
Horrible
A few
movie.
days ago, it wasn't
wasn't
bad, terrible. Man. It was better than I like. Honestly, it wasn't as bad as like.
It was a horrible
5 out of 10.
5
Yeah,
out of
it's
10.
like
5 out of 10. That's where I give it.
It's not bad. It's not good either. But
It's such a
not bad.
mess. Like, why is Esposito? How do you say his name? Esposito.
Giancarlo Esposito.
Giancarlo Esposito. Like, why is he even in this movie? He just shows up out of nowhere.
What
is his purpose in
you
the
can tell
film?
he was totally cut into that movie too. All right, let's just get right into the fucking
to add
movie.
more action scenes. That's like all he's there for.
I give it a 4 out of 10.
You can tell the reshoots. You literally saw the reshoots.
He was a reshoot. He just pops in. Hello, Captain America.
Not even just him. Even when they go and have the conversation, just the two of them on, like, you know, when he asks to go and speak to them alone or speak to the president alone. That scene, I swear, was a reshoot.
I just wish the movie was more about like the actual like corruption and all that. It just kind of like glosses over that too quickly. And then the way the leader is in that movie, he's just awful. He's so wasted.
The leader came out of nowhere, and if people don't know who the leader is, that's the guy from Ed Norton's The Incredible Hulk.
Oh, sorry, Tom. I should have given you. So I actually got a much better copy, as you can see, in the midnight hour before the stream started. This one you can actually
Flash,
hear what they're
Flash,
saying.
Flash,
You can actually hear it.
Flash, you're not telling on yourself, are you?
Yeah,
What?
he is.
You telling on yourself, man.
Gave us the shit-free ticket and then watched the good one himself.
I don't want you telling on yourself.
You're an asshole.
I didn't get it till like a couple hours before the stream started.
That's when I watched it. I was just watching it, you prick. That's why I was late. I'm sitting here trying to figure out half the shit that's going on in this stupid fucking movie. I hate you so much for making me sit through the Marvels, and I really hate you for making me sit through Captain Black Repression America.
Wait, hold on.
End this movie for that.
Which one? Which? Okay, so this movie, this movie is not worse than the Marvels, but it's not. It's not.
The only reason this
that
movie's
far.
better than the Marvels is because the Red Hulk scenes were okay.
Okay,
But that was about
okay.
it. Like it was okay. That's the best I can give this movie.
And I hated the fact that he had like this Robin character. He had his sidekick.
Oh, I hated that Falcon. That
thing.
stupid dance he did.
So dumb. So dumb.
I just don't understand how he
and the amount of technology that Falcon actually has, like what's his name, Captain African American actually has. Like, you know that bit where the shield flicks off and it's like flying behind him, protecting him, and there was a couple of scenes like with his wings that he used, and I'm like, man, he's so like,
why does
the
he
power
have
level is
why does he-
unbelievable.
Why does he have Ant-Man's helmet?
Yeah, that's true.
Did they
Now, hold on,
explain
man.
that?
Y'all jumping on top is too quick. Now let's talk about the
I know.
Falcon, the Hispanic dude.
The boy.
How
Hold
did
on
he
a second.
not-
We got a 50.
No running, please. Think dancing. Dancing? Yes, dancing. I'd like to see you dance. Oh, okay, but it's $50 extra.
50 bones there.
Gabriel Knight for $49.99 says there shouldn't have been a second DeLorean they could have used to get back to 1985 at the end of BTTF 3 instead of building a time train or being pushed by a train. Marty used the abandoned one in 1955, and Doc's should still be there in 1885. Plot hole.
Bro, you thinking too much.
Yeah, I'm not sure about this. I'm trying to.
Wait, they can't use
I know
they
what
can't
he's
use
saying.
this. Hold on, they can't use the stored one because it has to stay there.
Yeah,
Correct.
I can't
And
do
Marty
that.
can bring it back. That's right.
Yeah, you
It
can't
needs
use
to
that one.
That's right. You wouldn't be able to go and
And that's
interrupt it.
the original DeLorean. They're not using the 1955 one. They're using the original DeLorean. That's the one that's in storage.
Yeah, I don't think there was ever a. He's
And then he
saying
had to
there should have
build the
been one,
train.
but-
And then he had to build the train because, again, if he went and disturbed the one, then that whole situation would never have happened.
That
When
movie
Marty
was so
actually
damn
goes
good.
back.
Right.
Yeah, because I think Doc even addresses that, like that they can't.
Man, that movie was so good.
It's been a while since I've watched it.
Yeah.
Because I think he says something.
He
about,
says
well,
in
can't
the
we just
chat,
go-
"Oh, yeah, that makes sense."
I was gonna say because I think there's a. I'm trying to remember because it's been a few years since I've watched part 3, but I think Marty says something like, "Can't we just go get the gas tank off the other DeLorean?" In so many words, and Doc says we can't disrupt it, or could chance you not getting the DeLorean or getting back here, and blah 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 blah. I don't remember the whole scene, but I think he specifically addressed it because they can't disrupt the other one.
All right, now back to the Hispanic Falcon. How did he? how did he survive the missile blast?
The big explosion? I was asking the same question.
Because his suit wasn't made out of vibranium, right?
Vibranium, no.
No, but that's why it was only take one blast for him to get kind of knocked out.
And here's one thing where I kind of have to push back a little bit, or not so much push back, but go, okay, we have to kind of let movies happen because, in all honesty, Tony Stark would be a puddle of blood and guts after he was done fighting something in that Iron Man suit. There's no way he could survive all that shit unless there's some sort of system that keeps him safe somehow that they just never address. That's what I can assume,
on which
right?
movie though. Which movie?
Yeah, well, but irregardless, like I mean, just and it was like when I was thinking of like when Falcon comes down and does that shockwave. It's like, okay, that would have killed you practically if you're letting off that much of a shockwave, right? Like that first thing when he comes down and knocks out all those guys. It's like some of the physics in this shit. It's like he would be dead 10 times over.
Like every Marvel movie.
Okay,
I agree with you, Tom.
Yeah, exactly. So you can't really nitpick too much on some of that.
There was a lot of
shit,
nitpick over that scene where he shreds that car and all the hot sparks get on him. That would have melted him, but it's this comic book movie.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I don't
can
care
I ask though, like in regards to the Hulk, the super serum aspect, and you know the bit where he was like being beaten down by the Red Hulk, like, and he had the wings over the top, and then like had the shield sort of up, and he was just being smashed. Like, what do you think about that? Obviously, there was something in the wings, something like some sort of shield in the wings that was helping him. And then there is the cap shield, which is made of vibranium. But
the
I think he actually did break his arm, didn't he? From that?
Yeah.
No, he did. Did he actually break his arm? Because I thought he just ripped off his wing.
Yeah, it did. Yeah. Because in the very last scene, he has his arm in a little sling.
Also,
I think
love
he even
how
says that he goes a broken bone, but that's all. Yeah.
I love how Japan is the antagonist because they can't use China.
Yeah.
Like, Japan doesn't even have a military, really.
Hold on,
they're a giant military threat. They have like a defense force. They're not even allowed to have a like a straight.
They're not allowed to have a fleet.
Yeah.
Hold on, let's rewind real quick. So you guys talking about the part where Red Hulk, he took that flagpole and when he swung it, Sam stopped it. Because that really took me out the movie too. You remember that part?
I do remember that part.
That should have shattered his entire body when Red Hulk took that flagpole. And remember, Sam had some boosters on his back, and he stopped the pole. You remember
the
that
bit
part?
that I completely.
There were a bunch of things that took me out of the movie.
And me too. The bit where he does the nosedive and he comes down and he lands, he breaks the sound barrier because you see the explosion in the CGI. But he comes
That's
straight
what I was talking
down,
about, yeah.
and then he hits the ground legs first, and it's like, dude, at that speed, you don't have.
That's exactly what I was saying. He would have been crushed.
Yeah. Super serum. Your legs are just all you know are is a torso, if anything.
Yeah.
They'll probably just say that like the vibranium suit or some shit is like absorbing it or whatever.
It's just
it's
like
it's just
took me out. It's the
just
same
whatever,
thing
right?
as what
like that's
Fatal was talking about with the
like the fact that like he had more trouble fighting that guy in the church in the beginning with the knives.
Yeah,
he did fighting Red Hulk. So it's just kind of
like awful fault. That was an awful
it's just
fight.
like what are we doing? You know what I mean? I just couldn't
wasn't
believe
that one of
the
the
Red Hulk
reshoots
fight
too?
was the
Because
final
wasn't
fight.
that supposed to be the wrestler in that scene?
Yeah, Seth Rollins was supposed to be in the movie, but he got cut for whatever reason. I guess he's supposed to be the leader of the Serpent Society or something like that.
I wonder how much do you think they paid Liv Tyler to do a phone call and show up at the end?
That's crazy. That's crazy because why wasn't she in this film? She should have been in the movie.
No, but they had to reference. They had to keep referencing her as your daughter. Like they had to actually. The exposition in this movie killed me. The amount of times that they actually had to, explain to the audience basically what's actually happening or who a character is or something like that was just unbelievable to me.
What did you guys?
And that just shows that's what happens when you make a sequel to a 15-year-old movie.
True.
Sequel to a TV show.
that nobody watched.
and all kinds of other shit that nobody watched. Yeah.
Ant-Man helmet.
What did you
Yeah,
guys?
why
think
does
of?
he have this helmet?
It's probably just a nod
So they can
because
hide
the
him
fact
on the
that
Chinese
Falcon
posters?
fights Ant-Man in the first Ant-Man movie.
No, he
That
needs.
too.
Yeah, you can't tell he's black now.
You need the helmet so he can break the sound barrier or whatever.
I'll admit, like some of the scenes I liked. I liked the original final fight where Falcon's kind of just blowing up all the missiles and shit. I do like that scene. I liked how he used the wings to like cut things in half and stuff. And I liked how they actually made Sam's armor actually feel unique compared to like what Steve Rogers can do. The Red Hulk fight scene, probably the best part of the movie, but like it's just it's shown so much in the trailers that it doesn't really it loses a lot
you
of its impact,
basically
of course.
see the entire
Most of the
fight
fight in
in
the
the
trailer.
trailer.
Yeah, and you can tell like where they did the reshoots because you see the very final fight. I mean, spoilers, but who really cares? Sam stabs Red Hulk in the side stomach area with one of his vibranium wing things, and then there's a scene in the trailer if you go watch it where they show like a funeral, and apparently in the original cut of the movie, like President Ross dies and gets like obviously buried and all that stuff. So I would wager that that's how he's originally supposed to die. Is he gets like stabbed by Sam with the vibranium wing.
I think they're keeping him alive because they're probably going to have him be a Thunderbolt if they do another one.
100%. But that's what I'm saying. Like you can feel the budget cuts and you can feel the way they kind of wrote around certain things. I felt the other best scene in the movie, like the tone of the movie that was my favorite, was when they're at the White House and Isaiah's shooting at the president. Like
Isaiah
that
was
tone,
dope. Yeah, Isaiah.
like
dope.
that tone of the movie there for me it's like if the movie was like that the whole way through, where it's basically like I don't know how maybe Born Identity would be the best example comparison. If it was like that the whole time, I'd be like, yeah, this is pretty good. But like unfortunately, Captain America, in my opinion, has the best trilogy out of all the MCU movies, like all of them. You can't even compare.
Actually, I think that funeral. Oh, I was gonna say, I think that funeral was actually Steve Rogers.
That'd be even worse. If they killed off Steve Rogers, that'd be even worse. Like,
well, that was
a big FU. Yeah, I would hate.
Where is he anyway? Like,
he's apparently
Mr. Rogers.
The only reference they ever make to him is that he's apparently on the spaceship in space with Nick Fury with Sword, and he's helping Nick Fury. Yeah, they talk about that. I want to say it was in Secret Invasion. I could be wrong. It was in one of those Disney Plus shows. It might even been Falcon Winter Soldier. One of them, they make the joke of like, oh yeah, he's probably with Nick Fury like on the Sword base. And then like I don't remember which one exactly it was, but that's the only time they ever actually like reference him.
To me, this movie would have been with a few changes here and there. It could have actually been better just as a Falcon movie if they just embraced the fact that he is just Falcon and they made this a Falcon movie. And
yeah, I actually like Anthony Mackie. I think it would have been so much better for him to just be 10
Falcon. Years ago.
Yeah,
same thing with Black Widow.
100%. But the problem with this is that it does tie into that Hulk movie. They shouldn't have done that. Like I said, with a few changes to the story and everything, and actually giving it like a proper bad guy and whatever. But actually having it, if they had have embraced him as Falcon, I think it just would have been received a lot better. Because it's that whole thing is like Spider-Man is Peter Parker, Miles Morales. That like it's the same sort of thing.
You know what was funny to me?
You know why they're doing it? Because they need to make Black Captain America.
I'm gonna tell you a part that was real funny to me, and I don't think it was supposed to be funny. When he said I should have took that damn serum.
He said it twice.
Yeah, he said this twice.
I started laughing, man. He said I should have took that serum.
Well, when he
said Bucky in this movie, like Bucky's in this movie, so I'm guessing he loses the bid for Congress. Spoilers, because he's a big part of that Thunderbolts movie.
Yeah, but obviously the main character of Thunderbolts is going to be Yelena. She's a woman.
That's true. She's the leader. You can tell. You can tell.
I actually hear that movie's okay.
It looks dope. I can't wait to check it out. Like it's
but this is the last of the old guard. There's this Thunderbolts and then Ironheart, which is going to be a dog shit show.
And then when are we getting
Wonder Man?
Oh yeah,
well, hang on. There's also Fantastic Four coming. There's I don't know.
Yeah,
if
but I
that's
see
gonna
what
be-
Flash is saying about that. The Fantastic Four is part of the new kind of
Yeah, it's separate.
the revamped era. Yeah.
I think
Yeah, they
gonna
kind of
reboot.
stepped in Midnight Hour and reshot
How do you
that
re-
too. I think.
How do you reckon they're going to do Doomsday? And where's all that going to tie in? Secret Wars, isn't it? Secret Wars will be the reset
Doomsday, and
point.
then I think there's a movie, and then there's
No, from what I understand, it's
Secret
going
Wars.
to be Doomsday, Untitled Spider-Man 4 movie, and then it's going to be Secret Wars.
So
what
Spider-Man
I
4 is
can
going to take place in Battle World.
Yeah, that's the plan. My guess would be because obviously, what's it called? Miles Morales joins the main MCU through that.
That'd be so stupid.
That's what they're going to do.
In the
100% that's what they're gonna do.
in the comics, that's what they did with that.
Well,
That
Yeah, I
whole
think that's
event,
what they're gonna
that
do.
whole Battle World event existed to move Miles Morales to the 616.
Yeah,
That's
And I have a
all
feeling
that
that-
event.
that's-
That's all
that's
that
what
event
they're gonna
existed
do.
for.
you're going to have Spider-Man 4. They're going to bring back probably Toby and Andrew and all them because they're going to be on Battle World. So all their universes are going to collide. So they're all going to be there, which naturally means that one of those multiverse universes, whatever you want to call it, is going to have Miles on it because he's going to be
Oh, that's it.
the
This
main
sounds
Spider-Man
dumb.
of. But I know, but
Yeah,
like
it
that's
sounds
what it's
awful.
going to be. I know, and you'll probably have Miguel O'Hara, and I wouldn't be surprised if like Oscar Isaacs plays him in live action too, even though he's Moon Knight, because they've used the same actors for roles before. Like the guy that plays Micro in Punisher season 1, he's Ben Grimm in Fantastic Four, and there's the other guy, and then there's that chick also who was in the Marvels as that blue chick, and then she's also the Eternals main chick, Cersei. So like,
I
yeah.
got to point this out. We'll probably see Tony Stark as Iron Man.
100%.
You
Like,
put
yeah,
more
Robert
thought
Downey
into it
That
than
was
they
that was
did
in the
Robert
leaks,
Downey
if I
Jr.
remember correctly. That was already in the
It's
leaks that
adorable,
like
but
he's supposed to show up as both Doom and Iron Man,
That's stupid.
and yeah, but like that's just, it's stupid, but it's like it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like it's just like that's what's going to happen.
You could have got a
you're
dope
putting
cap.
way much
What
more
can
thought
we-
into this than they are. Trust
Yeah.
me.
What phase are we even in right now with the MCU?
This
Shit.
is phase
5.
5, I think.
Yeah,
Nah, I think truth be told, they about to reboot the whole thing after.
that's what they're going to
No,
do with
that's-
Secret
that's the
Wars.
plan.
Secret
Yeah, that's the
Wars will
plan.
do it.
Yeah,
Be
they
a
gonna
big
get
plan is
reboot.
like
They'll bring back the real. Well, it's not going to be Chris Evans, but they'll bring back Steve, Tony,
yeah,
all with new actors, new contracts.
but they're going to make the X-Men the de facto if you will, the Avengers were like the main team in like the first MCU, if you will. So now the new Avengers are going to be like the X-Men. They're going to be the new this is what everyone goes to watch. Is like instead of the Avengers, you're going to go watch the X-Men movies. This is going to be the main thing.
Well, can I ask you guys?
That's
Do you
good,
guys
though.
think that they can actually recast like a Tony Stark?
Gotcha.
Yeah, I mean
Every-
they can.
Everybody,
It's just
everybody
like,
says like that they, oh, you can't recast Robert Downey Jr.
they
as
should have
Iron
done
Man.
all
Like, you
this.
couldn't-
They should
you
have
can't
done
do
all
that.
this at the start instead of doing what they did.
Well, my argument would be: does anybody have a problem with Henry Cavill playing Wolverine?
No.
Other
I'm
than
fine
the
with
fact that
that.
he's too tall to play the role, but you don't.
Yeah,
Again,
you're never going to give you a
was Hugh
short.
Jackman.
You're never going to get your
he's
short
like-
king. Sorry.
No, never.
no, you're not. No, Hugh Jackman's like what 6'2" at least playing Wolverine. Like it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Really.
It don't
So
matter.
it's fine. And even when actors are short, like what's his face? Robert Downey Jr. is a short guy too. He has like platform shoes and shit when he acts. So does
Yeah.
like someone like Tom Cruise. So does it really matter? Not really.
Yeah,
You
because
guys
Robert
are
Downey Jr. is like
adorable.
Robert
Yeah,
Downey
Tom
Jr.
Cruise
Look,
actually, they would build. Isn't this true, Tom? They would build like walkways for him so he
Yeah.
would look taller.
A little step stool, correct?
Nobody's
tall
allowed to run next to him either. And if you watch that one where he's with Henry Cavill, if you notice, Henry Cavill's always on the downward slope so that
Yeah.
he's taller than him.
How
Lower.
tall is Tom?
No, but I think
Cruise?
it's adorable that you guys think the comic book movies have a future. They've killed it.
He's like
It's done.
5 foot
It's
fi-
dead.
5'5".
Unless I'm completely wrong and
like that.
Superman ends up being $1 billion film and Fantastic Four manages to make over 800-900 million and isn't horrible, then
I
maybe
don't-
there's
I
a
don't think
chance,
so.
but I'm not going to
I
put
don't
Deadpool
think
and
that
Wolverine
superhero stuff's bad.
did really good.
That's an exception to the
yeah.
rule. That's the problem. You have a problem here.
Not
This is
really,
what I
though.
was.
I don't think.
Yes,
there's
really,
superhero
because
fatigue.
I watched this
People
fucking
just have a
movie, and this
problem
movie
like
we
that.
just watched is the problem. Nobody is
Yeah,
going to
yeah,
go
this-
to this movie, and this is most of comic book movies now, unless it's a Wolverine and Deadpool movie or a Spider-Man movie or maybe a Batman movie. I think the audience is not going to trust these movies anymore.
Batman's
They're
kind of
past
down.
this shit. Even
Batman's
that,
on the
exactly.
downward slope. The Batman
You're not wrong.
didn't do that great.
That's my point. I'm saying I think this has been happening
What
for
do you
a
make,
while.
500 million?
Look, you go back to
the only
2009.
defense the Batman has is that it was released like somewhat right after
Around
COVID.
COVID,
So they
yeah.
could use that as like a copium, I guess.
Look,
But
here's my point.
I'd like to see what it does, what the second one does now that we're
Yeah.
through all that shit.
From 2009 to 2019, the box office had about a $6 billion increase. From 2019 till now, they've lost around $4 billion of that. All that was the comic book movie boom is what it was. And at this point, it's practically dead outside of the exceptions to the rules. Like I said, unless somehow, some crazy way they manage to write this ship over at Marvel and Superman is amazing, I think people are done with this. This is where the Westerns
So let me
were,
ask you a question, Tom. Do you
and
think
they have
that it
less
would
to
be,
go for them.
do you think that it would be better for them to do just isolated individual comic book movies, superhero movies, than it would be to try and tell an overall story, like a serialized story over a few
For
movies?
the most part, I think so. Those are the ones that are probably going to do better.
Did you guys watch the post-credit scene for this? It's so fucking stupid.
Who cares?
He's like, the threat is coming. I've seen it in the variables.
I didn't see it because it wasn't in our version.
You sure it's not?
Yes,
Pretty
it
sure.
is.
Basically,
I'm sure it's not.
he goes back to the raft again to go see the leader. He's like, you lost that bet. Did I? You're going to have a tough time. He's coming. The worlds you'll have to fight.
Yeah, he says
I've seen it in
like,
variables.
when the others show up, he means like
I feel like we've
they're
gotten
very-
that before.
That's
like
pretty much the
same,
ending to every one of the Marvel movies.
It's like the
Who are you
same
talking
cut
about,
scene
though?
that they've been
Or
doing
DC.
for years. Yeah.
Who is he talking about? Galactus?
He's either
Who
talking
knows?
about
I don't even
Galactus
think
or
Marvel
Doom,
knows who he's
probably.
talking about.
No,
Yeah.
that's what James Gunn learned when he came
Kevin
in to write.
Feige.
No, you're
That's
right.
And that's my point, and that's what I'm getting at. Is because like when James Gunn came in, he's like, "So what's your guys' plan for Thanos?" They're like, "We're like, we just got this thing where he comes in and he's like, he's at the end and he's coming in." It's like, well, yeah, but what are you gonna do with him? Oh, I know what we'll do with him. This
Give him some Fosters.
Foster's. It's gay for
Fucking
fat.
hell.
Oh shit! I can't play that. Oh.
No, but you know, I think Marvel is in good hands because they're talking about the Russos are going to take over the whole thing soon, and I got trust in those guys. They make pretty good films.
I think
For the most
every
part.
single movie that
Endgame
the
was
Russos
kinda
have made for
meh.
the MCU have been the best ones.
Endgame has its problems. Let's be real. Like that whole, remember that cringy ass scene? Don't worry, we got him, and all the women show up.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
They just stop fighting. Like,
Yes.
we're just gonna go over here now for this moment. That was the stupidest shit.
We'll
That's
stand
where it
back and
creeped
watch.
in right there at the end.
And that was because of Brie Larson's feet.
how her feet look. Oh, never mind, because I forgot you did that. Never
Let's
mind.
not go
gross.
down that rabbit hole.
Don't
Yeah,
again.
start that shit.
I don't want to go there. I forgot. Sorry.
Brie Larson's feet is like Star Wars to me. Like, let's talk about it. Let's
Shh.
show how gross they are.
Shut the up.
This was a
Are you
good
really
fight.
retarded?
This was a good fight, but the green screen in the back, that was terrible.
This was the stupid part, man. The end. I know you're still in there, Ross.
Yeah, that was pretty dumb.
Think of the cherry blossoms.
That's where they should have brought Betty in. Seeing Betty should have calmed him down. Is what it
I
should have.
agree.
100%.
Yeah, they should have trotted her out and
They
Dad,
waited
All
her-
she had to say is "Daddy," exactly. And all of
Yeah.
a sudden he turns and he goes, "Who?" and goes back to normal.
Dad?
Instead
No,
of,
it has to be Daddy. It has
instead
to
of
be
bringing
Daddy.
instead of bringing her in the prison right at the end there, it would have been way better. And like it's so true because he actually already tried to remind him of his.
That's why they're
daughter.
fighting by the flowers. Exactly. yeah.
Correct.
But fellas, let's
And
not
it
front.
didn't
Let's
work.
not front, fellas. That Red Hook does look dope, though. It
Also,
looks dope.
it looks all right, but the problem with this movie is yet another consistent problem with Marvel movies. Where's the villain? The leader
Yeah,
sucked. He's barely in it.
That's true.
This is a problem. This has been a consistent problem for them that they still have not figured out how to do villains other than Thanos. Like, who have they done?
Well,
good?
this is the thing. I think before the reshoots, they wanted to make Ross the villain, mate, and give
Yeah,
him
he
that
was gonna
Trump-
be-
the Trump.
I think
allegory.
you're right.
I'd love to see that original cut. I'd
And that's
love to see that
why-
original cut.
Which
I'd like to
one?
see the original the original movie they shot. I'd like to see
I'm just
that
being
movie.
an ass because they reshot it and recut it so many
Oh,
times.
did you
now.
see the director came out and said that's not true?
He's
even
full of
though
shit.
Yeah, even though that guy came out anonymously and was like, yeah, they reshot the whole movie.
You've had more than enough cast and crew.
Did you see that article? It was like they
Yeah.
talked about how bad this production was.
Just like they keep saying, "Oh, the budget's $180 million." I'm like, on what planet?
Yeah, what are you talking about? They reshot like 3 acts of this movie.
Well, and you know
And then
when you've got
Midnight Hour, they're like, let's get Esposito to be in the movie.
Yeah, well, and you have other people who worked on the movie. They're like talking about like when I came in, which means, and he goes, and then so and so was here before, and they said this, right? So that means they already had one round, and then they had another round, and then they talk about coming back again. So there was at least 2 or 3 rounds of reshoots in this bitch.
Yep. Last summer.
Well, that
And it
was
was
the big
supposed to
one.
come
See,
out.
the original one was 22 days, and that's the only one they'll admit to, because now they're trying to save face, and that's the thing that why I don't believe anything that's coming out about this, because this entire thing since the other day has been trying to save face for Disney and try to make this look like some sort of win when it's going to land exactly where most of us predicted it was going to be. It's going to open up somewhere between the Marvels and Ant-Man, which is a disaster. All right, like this is not going to make them any money. They can sit there and pretend it only cost them $180 million. They can sit here and pretend that this is the biggest Captain America movie to open up on a Valentine's Day that wasn't in a leap year. You know, like however they want to phrase this shit, it is not a win because once you factor in inflation, this will be the
Yeah,
lowest
they keep comparing
grossing
it.
Captain American film.
They
and
keep
probably one of the
comparing it to
lowest
Winter
Marvel
Soldier.
films.
Like they're
Right.
oh yeah, it's right up there with the Winter Soldier from
It's
like
an oranges
2000
to oranges comparison.
from 2008. Isn't that when that movie came out? When did Winter Soldier
No.
come out?
2014, actually, but still, no, it's not an orange to orange comparison because first of all, inflation, and not
Yeah,
only that,
that'd be
ticket
like-
prices have been way different since then, and all kinds of other things. Yeah,
Is it an Orange Man to Orange Man comparison?
yeah.
How do you think this movie's going to do worldwide? People forget
Shit.
how racist
Horribly.
the world is.
Horribly.
They're
People
holding
forget
off the
how
world
racist the
reports.
world is.
Yeah.
Did you notice they have not reported much from outside the U.S.? All they've gotten is like less than $1 million on Thursday.
You know what's funny
That-
about
that's
this
it.
shit is they like to call America like it's so racist there, but like you look at how, remember that Little Mermaid movie? It did good here, but worldwide it crashed. Like they don't want to have that
Yeah.
conversation. They don't want to talk about it. Like the world is much more worse than America.
Well, and that's
is.
what they're doing here.
We're actually pretty
Yeah.
tolerant over here, as much as they want to lie and say we're not. This movie's probably going to flop worldwide. I don't see that 250 million.
Wait, did you guys see the Chinese post of this?
Yeah, he's not even in it. And
He-
Damien shared that.
They made him
Yeah.
orange. They made him orange on the
Yeah. Well, that's the old Disney trick, right? Yeah, just like they did John Boyega, made his skin blue. Remember that shit?
Yeah,
Lighten
and then
the
they
skin a
shrunk
little
him too.
bit.
Yeah.
They shrunk him too.
They
on
shrunk
one.
Well,
him.
they were accused of lightening what's her face's skin on the Little Mermaid posters as well. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, I
I-
predict this movie will do 300 to 400 million worldwide.
This
is-
weekend?
Oh,
No,
I
no,
think
no,
it means
no.
altogether.
No,
Oh,
altogether.
total.
Yeah.
That's a
And I don't
that's a
even think it
failure.
hits that. I don't even think it hits that. What did
Here's-
Quantumanium do?
Yeah, I was just about to say it. So this movie's trailing Quantumania.
300-ish.
475 global-ish.
But
I don't
here's
see
the
this
thing.
hitting that.
Here's what's going. This movie has a terrible cinema score.
Because
It's
that
worse.
movie at least had Ant-Man in it.
This movie has a terrible cinema score. It's doing worse than Quantumania. Quantumania, remember they were raving about that opening weekend?
Yeah.
This movie's going to fall off a cliff next weekend.
Imagine explaining these movies to kids in the future. It's like, all right, you kids ready for Captain America 4? Yeah, but Captain America is not in it. Okay, you guys ready for Black Panther 2? Yeah, okay, but guess what? Black Panther is not in it.
It's
Like
the
that's
Falcon.
That's crazy.
We got Shuri now. Shuri here.
Yeah, Black
She's just
Panther
as
2
good
is
as
not a good movie.
T'Challa.
And that's why I think Ant-Man's going to
agree
end up
with
with a
that.
better box office because, like I was just joking, but it's true. At least Ant-Man had Ant-Man in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ant-Man was in it. He even fought
This don't even have
Kang.
Captain America in it.
My favorite part of my favorite thing with Quantumania was that they killed Kang right away. This is like his first movie. And it's like, wow, he's a threat. Ant-Man killed him.
That's
You know
great.
what's stupid is I think people wouldn't have had much of a problem had they made this like a Captain America Avenger film. And I don't mean like Avengers bringing other Avengers. I mean, what if you had all of the Captain Americas?
They're saying it made 40 million.
Well, this is the thing
Yeah.
that's weird to me is
Worldwide?
normally Box Office Mojo is pretty good, and they normally
Oh,
like
there's
a
no
bit of a-
international number.
That's what I said. They're
Yeah,
not reporting the international yet because I've only seen less than 1 million.
But even the domestic number is all zeros after it. Normally, it's an unusual number. You know what I mean? Like when you see it, normally it's got like these 504s, blah. You know, it's exactly 40 million. Like that's
they're just
weird to
guessing
me.
right now. We won't have the actual numbers until
But
Monday.
yeah, no international.
Aren't they
This
saying
is
that
rare.
it's
They're
like
keep holding
it
them
has
off.
it has a better opening right now than Winter
That was,
Soldier stuff?
Ant-Man.
I mean, Brave New World.
Yeah,
Like, it's
if you
better
don't
than
count
Winter Soldier.
inflation, basically.
Yeah,
so
the
far.
inflation is huge during
But here's what's
COVID
stupid is they
and-
already got ads
Yeah.
going out there saying this is the #1 movie in the world.
What about
They always say
Paddington
that.
movie?
They always say that, man.
That's why I think they're full of shit and they're not reporting the worldwide box office yet. They're going to wait till Monday and then it can be an oops, we were wrong.
What's the actual? What? Let me look.
They did the
this
same
up.
thing with Mufasa.
You got to think too. It don't have no competition this month, so of course it's gonna be the number.
Actually,
one movie.
Paddington and that horror movie are doing pretty well. Hard Eyes or whatever it's called.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
There's no
Paddington,
box office reports in total out.
Paddington, that freaking little bear, that bear.
Yeah, I found they had earlier, they had some of it listed, but they removed it. It did say $90,000 for international and they took it down. I'm not shitting you. That's what it said this
90,000.
morning. Yes, $90,000. It didn't even make $1 million opening day outside the U.S.
Damn.
according to what I
Wait,
saw.
Captain America?
But I don't know if that's just because that I think that was because somebody reported and then Disney said, "Wait a minute, we're not reporting outside the U.S."
What's
Because
it
it's
doing
actually-
in China? I really want to know.
That was probably the China number.
Well,
Oh,
this
that's
this
bad.
is the thing about it, man. This movie never did have an audience. Black people, I can speak for black people. Black people didn't ask for this movie. We wanted him to remain as Falcon. We thought he was dope as Falcon.
Well,
Why
that's
couldn't
the
this be
biggest problem, right?
Yeah, who is Captain America? Fatal J.
it's Steve Rogers all day?
Hmm.
See,
Here's where we're at.
He's such a
box office
racist.
wise.
Fatal.
Paddington in Peru, pulling in 5 million. Dog Man. There's nothing out. That's it. Just
Nothing,
Captain
yeah.
America.
Them kids
yeah,
love
that's
dog, man.
what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what he was saying, and I'm like I was saying, yeah, it's got a little competition, but nothing remotely.
No, it
What
has
comes
nothing.
out
in the
next week,
same
Tom?
vicinity. I don't think there's another big movie now for. What is the next big movie coming out?
Inquiring
Yes.
minds need to know.
Marvel,
Yeah,
you put
same
this
here.
out instead of Blade.
What
No.
do you mean? They don't even
They were-
have a script for Blade.
They were too busy trying to figure out how to get his daughter propped up.
That's crazy.
The Monkey Shines
Yeah,
horror.
Bloodline.
The Monkey Shines remake comes out next week, and that's like the biggest movie. So this movie
Monkey
has
Shines?
Remember the Stephen King Monkey Shines?
What's that about?
Is that the one with the
killer
paw?
monkey. The little monkey that kills people. He's a little genetically engineered monkey.
Sounds
Oh, that's-
They're just
stupid.
calling it the monkey, but the original one was called Monkey Shines.
That's the movie from Oz
Retarded.
Perkins, right? The long legs guy.
I think so. Yeah.
What
I
was the
think
one with the monkey paw?
guys, I'm so wrong. The Cleaner comes out next week. Don't forget about that.
What's
The
the
cleaner.
cleaner?
Who stars in
We've
that?
been waiting for that. That's the Daisy Ridley Die Hard skyscraper movie.
Oh,
my
I can't
God.
wait.
Oh,
I
Daisy
know.
Oh, that
Ridley's
was
in
a
it?
bomb.
And she's
Daisy
a clean,
Ridley's
and what,
Die
she's a
Hard
cleaner?
movie. She's a cleaner.
Oh wow.
Oh, so it's petite little Daisy Ridley kicking
Yeah.
ass?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
I'm
then
tired of that shit, man.
then we don't have anything again for God. There ain't shit.
What was
That's
the
a-
movie with the monkey paw?
That was
That
a
would have been
Sim-
either the monkey paw or just some.
That was
Are you
the
thinking of
Simpsons.
Talk to Me?
Oh, is that the one?
That's the Simpsons.
Because Talk to Me is the one that has like that
The
weird like
Simpsons.
demon
That
hand.
is the Simpsons where he moved that one finger. And then
Maybe
it was
that's
like
what
a
you're thinking about.
curse.